just when you thought the Panthers had enough running backs. No. You can't have too many running backs.
Nope. Mm-mm.
You just can't.
Nope. In a pass-happy league, can't have enough running backs.
In a pass-happy league, that's even better, right? In modern football, when everything is based on 4 wide receiver sets, the Panthers go against the trend and bring in 900 running backs.
We're beefing up the O-line.
Yeah, when everyone wants tackles, the Panthers go against the trend, beef up the interior of their offensive line. They're not worried about protecting Bryce Young's blind spot. They're worried about running 33 ISO. They want the fullback up the A-gap. Rashaad Penny, expected to be signed by the Panthers following rookie minicamp once he's able to pass a physical. You may say, Rashaad Penny, I vaguely remember that name from somewhere. You are right. He is a former first-round pick, and he spent most of his career, if not all of his career. Oh, no, because he was with the Eagles last year. He spent most of his career with the Seattle Seahawks, where he spent time with Dave Canales. I think... How many, actually, Dennis, this is a good question for you. Okay. How many of the stones are there in Thanos' little...
6 Infinity Stones.
All right, well, then they still need one more.
Okay.
They have the 5 stones. They have the guy that knows the system, Rashaad Penny.
Okay.
They have the high-priced veteran, Miles Sanders.
Okay, yep.
They have the journeyman grinder, Chuba Hubbard. They have the high draft pick young guy, Jonathan Brooks. They have the pass-catching project, Raheem Blackshear. They just need one more. I don't know what else they're missing. Maybe it is
Well, it's Tariq Cohen.
Tariq Cohen.
There it is. He's number 6. He could be the Soul Stone.
But he can be the Soul Stone because
he's been around longer than anyone else.
He's the
old soul.
He's been through a lot. He's powered through. There you go. Add Tariq Cohen in as the soul bringer / potential return man, and you have all 6 Infinity Stones of running backs for the Carolina Panthers. Do you know what this tells me? By any means necessary, whatever it takes, they are going to get the running game going. And they may have looked at their roster and said, we don't have a 3-down back. They said, let's get one for every situation.
One for every down and a backup.
It's they don't want to have a single play in their playbook they can't run because they don't have the dude to do it. They want every specific skill set. Do you know what it's feeling like? And this, do you ever do Ultimate Frisbee?
I've played it before.
Okay. I remember, I've never really played like an actual go out there. Obviously, I've thrown a Frisbee. But I remember being flabbergasted when I learned that they have different Frisbees, like golfers have different clubs. They have like the driver. They have the real heavy one.
You're talking like disc golf.
Disc golf. That's what I was going.
Yeah.
You're right. I meant
okay. Yes.
Yeah, I meant disc golf. I said Ultimate Frisbee. I actually have played Ultimate Frisbee, but I was thinking disc golf in my head the whole time. I'm thinking disc golf. They have like different Frisbees.
Yeah.
I thought you would only use a Frisbee. I thought the game was to do it like with the Frisbee that we used in like recess. And then I learned they have all these different ones. You go to a store, they have just a billion of them. I kind of feel like the Panthers are taking that style of running back. It's like I thought you would just get a Christian McCaffrey and you just kind of did everything with Christian McCaffrey. Right? That was the goal. I understand there's more and more committees and it's becoming more and more specialized, but I always thought the goal was to have the do-it-all back, right? To have the Saquon Barkley, to have the Bijan Robinson, right? To have the Derrick Henry, to have the guy that you could do it all with, because I thought that gave you and I don't say I thought, I knew, it gives you an ability to be more mysterious, right? Right now, if I look at the Panthers running backs, especially with Rashaad Penny in there, I'm thinking if Rashaad Penny is in there, it's some kind of pass block. Why? Because they brought him in and he has a history with Dave Canales, and the hardest thing to pick up in a new offense is pass blocking. So you bring in the guy that knows the offense because you trust him in those situations. Right? If Jonathan Brooks is out there, I assume it's a run. Why? Because he's a rookie and it's hard to pick up the rest. It's hard to pick up pass concepts. It's hard to pick up pass protection. But you can turn and hand it to him. If it's Chuba Hubbard, probably going to be a grind. right? You're probably going off tackle somewhere.
4 yards.
If it's Miles Sanders, I assume somebody else is hurt and he's filling in.
If he's around.
If it's Raheem Blackshear, you're probably splitting them out. The challenge now is these guys have skill sets that you can pigeonhole. We just did it. So if you have 6 running backs with different skill sets, the challenge is for Dave Canales not to become predictable based on who they put in at running back. But you better believe they're going to run the darn ball. The more and more this offseason goes on, the more and more I think it's going to be like Pistons. I don't know where that came from. Titans is what I wanted to say.
Oh, okay.
It's always these Mondays. It takes me a while to get rolling. See, it's like the Canes.
It's like first period. Yeah,
you go on like 4 or
period.
5 days off. All of a sudden, for me, it's like 2 days off. The first 10 minutes, a lot of sloppy play. The Titans with Derrick Henry levels of we're just going to run the ball, and we're going to throw it when we need to. Do you remember that one year Ryan Tannehill was like the most efficient passer in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say he led the NFL probably minimum, 50 attempts or something like that, in passer rating. And everyone was like, whoa. And then you recognize, well, every single play the defense was stacking the box to try to stop Derrick Henry, and they still ran the ball a ton, right? Sounds like, smells like, seems like the Panthers are trying to do that for Bryce Young. Bryce Young's efficiency stats will go through the roof this year. Why? Because they're running the ball 75% of the time, and every time Bryce Young throws it, it's going to be a big surprise. Every single time, a little play action, you're going to hear defensive backs going, oh, bleep, because they were crashing to make a tackle. I saw somebody on Twitter went back and found the first 3 plays of Dave Canales calling plays in Tampa. All right? So Dave Canales has been a assistant coach in Seattle forever, position coach, which means you have suggestion power, but not really play calling power, right? You can say, hey, I think this play would work, but then someone else has to decide when to run it.
Yeah, he had the title of pass game coordinator for a short bit too.
His first 3 plays as a play caller. Like, coaches work their entire lives to get to call plays as an NFL play caller, right? He gets to do the thing. Like, he's playing real-life Madden up there. Only the offensive plays, which is really the only fun parts of Madden, right? Like, do you know what he did? Run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle. First 3 plays. Been working his whole life to get in that situation. Run, 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 and then left him with like a 4th and a half yard. He got 2 yards, 6 yards, 2.5 yards, and said, all right, go figure it out. I did the math wrong there. 2 yards, 5 yards, 2.5 yards. Is that better?
Yeah, that checks out.
They are going to run the darn ball. I wouldn't be surprised if they pick up another running back. Who else is out there? They're going to be looking. Undrafted free agent, they're going to be looking.
Why not?
Why not? Because they already have 6.
Well, I think they already did sign an undrafted free agent.
Well, they brought one. Yeah, but making more of a
just
roster.
more of them?
Yeah. Making more of the roster, because right now it's gigantic. And I'm sure all these guys won't make it, but they're going to find, I don't know, their favorite 4 or 5. That's absurd.
Is Miles Sanders gone?
We had this conversation. I think he's near the bottom of the totem pole as far as like who they prioritize, but I don't think they can move on money-wise. If you move on pre-June 1, he counts actually $3 million more against the cap than he would this year if he plays. Goes from like 7.5 roughly to over 10. And if they designate him a post-June 1 cut, he still counts 7.4 or something like that against this year's cap. So his agent has made a contract that is nearly undroppable. So I think he plays. But I don't think – I think if Jonathan Brooks is healthy, it's probably Chuba Hubbard and Jonathan Brooks at the top. Depending on how healthy Rashaad Penny is, it might be Penny and then Sanders. If Penny's not healthy, then obviously Sanders jumps him. Running backs. Think they could trade Miles Sanders?
Who will want him?
Dallas.
Dallas does need one.
Have Zeke Elliott and Miles Sanders and say,
Gosh.
hey, if this were 4 years ago, you'd be pretty excited.
He would be.